Well, ever since Bryan Harsin left his alma mater on December 22nd, we have been waiting to find out who his replacement would be. And a little bit earlier this evening, sources said that Andy Avalos is set to return to his alma mater and become Boise State's next head football coach. I welcome in Will Hall to talk about this. And Will, if it seems like it took a year to make the hire, I'll give you this. Andy Avalos had 365 tackles in his Boise State career, so one for every day of the year, I guess. But either way, Boise State finally finds their man, and it's kind of an obvious answer, it seems.
Yeah, absolutely, JT. Just go back 17 days ago when we learned that Coach Harsin was leaving Boise State for the Auburn position. At that time, you and I were talking on air that day after we learned that Coach Harsin was leaving, and we talked about candidates to replace him. And who did we bring up? 1A was Kellen Moore, 1B was Andy Avalos. So it's a guy that many in Bronco Nation we're expecting to be named the successor to Bryan Harsin. Here we are 17 days later. Coach Avalos returning back here to Boise.
You know, it's interesting because it took 17 days to make a hire that probably could have taken 17 minutes. But I will say this. Boise State got their new director of athletics, Jeremiah Dickey, in place, and they allowed him to make this decision. And that process played out, and eventually that road led to Avalos, which was the obvious answer. You look at Andy's track record here at Boise State, and it's remarkable, not only in terms of X's and O's and being a good defensive coordinator, but he had an elite ability to develop talent and then eventually place that talent into the NFL.
Yeah, absolutely, JT, on a lot of levels. He knows this defense that he's going to bring back to Boise State inside and out. He coached at all three levels of the defense, at defensive line, linebacker, and then, of course, oversaw the unit his final 3 years as defensive coordinator here at Boise State before spending the last 2 years at Oregon. And JT, as you're alluding to, his recruiting ability and his ability to develop those recruits and that talent once they arrive on campus here at Boise, that track record that he has going back a long, long time throughout his coaching career speaks volumes about the ability for him to kind of produce those recruits once they get on campus, mold them into the type of player that he wants, see them have success, then that translates to the next level. If you consider this, Boise State currently has 10 alums on the defensive side of the ball playing in the NFL. 5 of those 10 were recruited or at least helped out in recruiting by Andy Avalos, getting them to Boise State and then on to the National Football League.
Goes back to DeMarcus Lawrence during the 2012 season, ends with Leighton Vander Esch in the 2017 season. Leighton went on to be a first-round draft pick of the Dallas Cowboys. Some tremendous success there under Andy Avalos. We'll mention this once again, though. It hasn't necessarily been confirmed or made official by the university, so we're waiting on that, but we will have plenty more coverage in the coming days and on the news at 10 tonight. The Boise State men's basketball team in action. Highlights tonight at 10. We're back right after this.